Elon.
For those of you who don't know, Elon Musk posted this from I think it was the Reagan. And here we go.
I, Kamala Harris, and your Democrat candidate for president, because Joe Biden finally exposed the senility of the debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color. So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist. I may not know the first thing about running the country, but remember, that's a good thing if you're a deep state puppet. I had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet, a wonderful mentor, Joe Biden. Joe taught me rule number 1, carefully hide your total incompetence. I take insignificant things and I discuss them as if they're significant. And I believe that exploring the significance of the insignificant is in itself significant. Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time. Another trick is trying to sound black. I pretend to celebrate Kwanzaa, and in my speeches, I always do my best Barack Obama impression. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. And okay, look, maybe my work addressing the root causes of the border crisis were catastrophic, but my knowledge of international politics is truly shocking. The United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. It is an alliance that is strong and enduring. And just remember, when voting this November, it is important to see what can be unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean, Joe Biden. You think the country went to shit over the past 4 years? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, so that's from Mr. Reagan.
It's
originally from Mr. Reagan, and Elon Musk posted it on Twitter or X, and it's going viral. It's up to 102 million. 102 million views.
And see,
just so anybody wants to fact check us, there it is. It's down there, 102 million.
We wanted to talk about it because for a couple of reasons. I mean, it is true. The sad thing about it is some of that was true. It's true. Some of that is it's not AI. Some of it, she's calling relationships our alliances. Our alliances are relationships. With North Korea. True, right? This is who they want to put as president of the United States of America, right?
The importance of time and
the importance of time. But also.
Classic,
it's a big thing.
Classic commie.
The thing is, if what's different between 2020 and today is that Elon owns Twitter, right? And so part of Trump's superpower was that he was on Twitter. That's how he got elected in 2016. And he talked over the heads of the joke fake press, the lie pop looking press. We can't do enough talking about we can't stop whenever we talk about, say, the board of press and explain what a bunch of lying POSs they are and how they're like dedicated to destroying America. They're the haters and the creeps, right? Yep. Because that's who they are. So and the secret in 2016 is he talked over the heads on Twitter. 2020 they kicked him off and they silenced him. Elon buys Twitter, and today, he can pass that on, and we can all laugh about it. But it's a way to get over his head. And Trump is not going to go on Twitter because he's got his own gig now on Trump, on Trump, on Truth Social. So he's unlikely to go back on Twitter. So he needs another way to talk over. Although he should. Well, he should. Because that was his super, they could, the lying press would lie, and, he cut them apart just by saying the truth. That's what his superpower was. He would say, I don't think Mexico is sending their best, right? Oh, that's horrible. He's racist. It's true. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can call them all the names you want. It's true. Right? It doesn't. That's why there's less violence on Venezuela streets today. It's because Venezuela is not sending us their best either. They're letting out all their prisons and sending up to America. Just look at all the murders and rapes you have in America now, thanks to the border czarina, Kamala Harris. So we wanted to highlight that for the show because if it's the second best thing of having Trump on Twitter is that Twitter is now a free space, a free speech space because of Elon. If it's a place to go to spread the actual news. We still need, like you said, I think Trump just got to go back on there so he can dominate on Twitter the way he did before, just to get over the heads of the fake press. It really has to be something done about them because all they do is in-kind $1 billion worth of advertisements for the evil left for destroying the country and destroying the country. Look what they did for the last 5 years. They have a demented candidate that was demented 5 years ago when he wasn't allowed out of his basement because somebody would find out about how demented he was, about how far down the dementia hole he was, right? And we've been gaslighted the entire last 5 years. And so, I think Scott Rathman says that only about 8% of the population pays attention to politics at all. And that's what they're going on. That's what they're using, right? They're using that against the American people to pull the wool over the American people, to gaslight the American people. Now, we have to cover it up, the fact that she's been the border czar in charge of it for the last 4 years because it was just a photo op that Biden came up with to get her out of his hair. And now it's being hung around her neck that 8 million to 40 million people came across that border. So if she was in charge of it, she's completely incompetent. She's going to screw that up like anything else that she's been put in charge of. For example, running for the country and being put in charge of the country if she, God forbid, she wins on November 5th, right? So we can't let that happen. So we're just gonna gaslight the American people and say, oh, she was never. There's no such thing as a position of border czar. Hey, asshole, you're a liar and an asshole for even saying that. Anybody says that should be immediately shouted out as asshole, liar, shut up, asshole. Because it used to be. I remember, I'm an attorney, and this is always a pitfall of being an attorney. Is this? But I've never fallen this because I can remember to this day my teacher, one of my teachers, the great Judge Gray, saying everybody starts in life when you meet somebody with a cup filled with credibility, right? But here's what happens, right? As you pour it, as you lose your credibility and it pours out, drip by drip by drip, it never comes back, right? And these people have lost all credibility. So what we need to do is shout them down and make them pay for it when they lie like this. She was the border czar. There's, she's running around. Biden's calling her the border czar. Everybody's calling her the border czar. They literally have the lying president.
Yeah, even a dementia-riddled president knows that she's the border czar.
They even have there are even quotes out there on there are even like videos of this. I wish I had one right now that show lying press people today saying, "Well, she was no there's such thing as border czar," and then her referring to them 3 years ago as Kamala as the border czar, right? Like they've forgotten it. They haven't forgotten it. They're lying pieces of POSs. That's what they are, and they need to be called out for. But we really got to do something. We need corporate reform just so that those fake business models are thrown or are destroyed, because that's part of the problem is that you can have somebody just prop up these fake businesses models and they have our airwaves. These are our airwaves. ABC, NBC, and CBS are on our airwaves that we're not allowed to be on. And nobody, yet exploiting them, and yet telling George Stephanopoulos telling lie after lie after lie, for his buddies in the Democrats, right? So we really got to do something about it. But it's it is a different election. It's going to be a different election than 2020. One of the reasons why is because Elon and Twitter is dedicated to free speech.
Well,
but that's why we wanted to do Elon.
Well, there's something to what you said. Like, let's just for a second talk about something in that video we just watched, the AI, where she talks like Barack. They all are fake. You want to talk about credibility? When you put Hillary in front of a crowd, she develops an accent, right? You put her down south, she develops her southern accent, right? So then you put Barack in front of a crowd in the Bronx, he all of a sudden has a black accent, right? The same thing with Kamala. All of a sudden she has a black accent when she gets in front of these groups. These people, John, are not genuine. And one of the things I was listening to Victor Davis Hanson the other day. He was talking about, because he's coming out with a new book. It's actually not a new book. It's The Case for Trump, with 20,000 new words added to it, which basically cover from January 21st until today, right? Until like April something of this year. And it says, why is Trump still viable? Why is Trump still good? And comes down to, you see it right there in the Bronx, right? When he goes into the Bronx, or he goes into Philadelphia, he's getting hugs from people. He doesn't go into a crowd and all of a sudden develop a fake accent. The voice you hear from Trump is the
He doesn't
same
pander to them.
one. Yeah, he doesn't pander. He's authentic. You're not going to like everything he's going to say, but he will be 100% authentic.
And he tells you the truth.